So imagine having one of your dream vacation spots, having a property in that dream vacation spot. Imagine the ability to not only have a second home as a dream vacation spot, but also having the ability for it to pay for itself. And today we're going to talk about a lending product that will not only allow you to get a dream vacation property as a second home, but also how you can get multiple across the United States and have each of them pay for themselves. And you have the flexibility to vacation in these properties whenever you so choose. We're going to talk about it in this video. So this is JP from Blueprint for Prosperity, helping you to increase your net worth through relationship banking, maximizing your borrowing capacity, proper use of life insurance, and the ownership of real estate. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm uploading content on a daily basis to help you customize your personal blueprint for prosperity. So I decided to shoot this video due to a client experience and then also a meeting that I had with some of my colleagues who are in the lending space as mortgage loan originators, which I myself am a licensed mortgage loan originator as well. I'm going to drop the information to that down below since I mentioned it. But I wanted to talk about this because many of you don't know that there are lending products, and particularly a certain type of lending product that would allow you to not only get a second home in, wherever your dream area may be. If it's the beach, if it's the mountains, wherever, in the majority of cases, obviously we may not be talking about extreme remote places, but we're talking more like, beachfront or, destinations like that, or even like beach condominiums, mountain properties, properties that are in the mountains and outskirts of cities. There's a lending product and that would allow you to have second home and actually have multiple second homes throughout the country. And the secret sauce to this is pretty straightforward. But the first thing I want to cover is a little bit about the lending criteria and why this may be more attractive to you and something that might want to be put on your radar, because it's not just an investment opportunity in real estate, but it's the opportunity to turn an investment property into a lifestyle property. And so I feel like this would be very valuable for many of you, because many of us love the idea of, being able to have direct access to some of our favorite vacation destinations with our own property. Not that there's anything really wrong with, short-term renting out at a hotel or an Airbnb. But I mean, let's just be honest, how much more of an experience would it be to be able to pull up to your own property in, Colorado in the mountains somewhere, or in Florida at the beach, and enjoy your home. And then on top of that, have it be a financial investment that can pay for itself and potentially even put a little money in your pocket. And so this little secret mortgage lending product is pretty much your standard second residence home loan. And they're very common in not only with mortgage brokers, but also in banking institutions. They offer second home loan products. It's very common. It's not a taboo or, kind of underground mortgage product. You can go to most banks and credit unions and small regional local banks, and they will have not only primary residence property options, but secondary property options. The secret sauce of this is you have the ability to take down this property, and you can do it at slightly tougher lending requirement than a primary residence as far as down payment might be concerned, but significantly better terms than investment property loans may cost you. So we're looking at this midpoint where you can actually take down more real estate as a lifestyle asset that it can pay for itself with maybe about 10 to 15% down, and still a pretty close to primary residence type of interest rate, as well as, being able to have reasonable costs when it comes to like closing costs and points and things of that nature, different fees associated, right? Again, these are bank level products that we're talking about. So you have this middle sweet spot with secondary home loans where you can take down this property and don't need 25 or 30% like you'll need in most investment property scenarios. You don't have to be some experienced real estate investor like you also need sometimes with different investment loan products. And you don't have a lot of the fees, costs, and you don't have to necessarily have this crazy creative strategy to take the property down. If you can have a reasonable excess cash and meet mostly the same criteria that your primary residence will require with maybe a higher down payment requirement. So instead of being anywhere from 0 to 5% on your primary resident, you're looking maybe somewhere more like 10 to 15% for your secondary property. But that's a reasonable down payment, again, compared to 25, 30% on a lot of investment properties in many cases. And the rules and restrictions around this loan product are really flexible. You just have a requirement to occupy that property sometime every year, right? It could be a handful of weeks. You don't have to live there like 6 months out of the year. You can live there maybe a handful of weeks, maybe call it 4 or 6 weeks throughout the year. And that fits within the regulations and the requirements for secondary home loan products in most cases. So the beauty of this is that you're now able to go to this dream destination vacation property that you now own. And the rest of the time that you're not staying at this property, you can be renting it out, short-term renting it out yourself. Now, the only caveat around this is in most cases with most mortgage loans, secondary mortgage loan products, it can't be managed by like a professional management company. It can't, you can't turn it into a full-out investment property, right? And the big stipulation there is you oftentimes cannot have it professionally managed. So you got to kind of watch that. But, you maybe just kind of hiring out cleaning services and basic maintenance yourself instead of putting it fully under the umbrella of a management company, still allows you to get the property taken care of, rent it out the way it needs to be rented out, gives you a little bit more legwork because you're not able to completely outsource it. But again, you're kind of outsourcing to professional cleaning services and maintenance people when needed, like you would if it was your own property, right? As far as a primary residence, because it is your own property. But this is the secret, mix with secondary home loans that's really exciting, because when you stop and think about the potential, I can actually take down a property with not too much more down payment money than I already put down on a primary residence in most cases, and have a beautiful vacation property somewhere that I love to visit. I can take myself or my family or my friends and visit on my schedule because it's my property. You're still possibly going to be able to get tax benefits. You're still going to get mortgage pay down. And again, if this property is getting enough business and bringing in enough revenue, like I said, short-term renting it out, you could be getting some cash flow off of this and still have a dream property that you're able to go and spend your time and create beautiful memories. Now, this is the last, secret little hack around this, or really, 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 amazing feature of this loan product. You can actually use a secondary home loan product more than one time. Crazy, right? You can use this strategy on multiple properties. The big caveat is that you need to make sure these properties are in different geographical areas. So again, we're in the United States, in this, for the sake of this conversation, you might have a beach property in Florida. You might have a mountain property in like Colorado, or even further up, maybe in like New Hampshire or Maine, in that part of the country. And then you may have, another property on the West Coast, right? You just need to mix up the geography, and that usually it will do the trick to qualify for more than one secondary home loan under the same flexible and moderately lower requirements of the secondary home loan, again, without having to buy an investment property. And those of you who are huge short-term rental fans, or at least excited about this idea, but have looked at this from a perspective of buying an actual investment property and the financing and the lending requirements that go into that, it can, it kind of it ups the barrier of entry, right? This secondary home loan hack is really dropping the bar down for a lot of people, because again, if you can put together 10 or 15% down and again meet a couple different loan stipulations and requirements, make sure that you have the property managed properly by regulations, again, just by typically not having a property management company like a professional company. And you can get multiple properties, put the down payment money together enough to get multiple properties over time throughout the country, 2 or 3 of these, and they're all in great locations, renting out on a short-term basis, because you think many short-term rental properties are making the bulk of their money in seasons. So when you say, okay, well, I have to occupy this property maybe a month or 2 out of the year, or a handful of weeks out of the year, but the rest of this time it can be rented out, and you can catch a peak season based on where that property is and allow it to not only pay the mortgage down, possibly still give you tax benefits, check with your accountant or tax advisor, and also potentially be putting cash in your pocket. Like, even if this property is paying for itself and you don't see a dime of it extra in your pocket, can you imagine the potential tax benefits, mortgage pay down, continue equity growth, and you can go vacation at this property when you choose? Imagine the money you're saving on vacations and trips, when you go out to this. And again, the beauty of it being your property. So you literally don't have the restrictions and the confinement of renting somebody else's property and making sure you're doing everything that their requirements ask and paying cleaning fees. This property is paying for itself. It's something that you can keep in the family and pass down. It's an automatic vacation spot. That's one less accommodation now when you're traveling, if you're in that area, that you have to worry about. You can pass it down to your next generations. It's just an amazing opportunity. And working with some of my colleagues and having this conversation, I didn't realize the potential gold mine this could be for more everyday people to get into a bit of a short-term, in real estate investment opportunity while still having a lifestyle asset at the same time, and doing it with a pretty reasonable lending criteria and down payment requirement. So this is the type of creativity that I'm all about. And I wanted to put this on you guys' minds, because many of you may own your primary residence and you may have 10 or 15% you can put down on a property. You have just, these dream vacation spots around the country that you love to go to or want to go to. And there's property available that's in your range, down payment wise. You might meet the lending requirements, and you don't have to go out and meet the full standards of trying to, get a short-term rental property loan and get an investment company, a property management company and all this other stuff. It's an opportunity for you to kind of straddle between the fence of investor and, beach bum. So I just wanted to bring this to you guys. I thought it was really exciting. And hopefully it, turns some light bulbs on for many of you. Hopefully it's something that inspires you to start getting. There's so many different opportunities and products out there in the lending space when it comes to real estate. And this is just one of those niches and one of those opportunities where more of you may be a lot closer to having an amazing lifestyle asset and experience and an investment all in one package. And it's right under your nose in some cases. So thank you for tuning in. I enjoyed bringing you this content. I want you guys to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Stay focused, stay in motion. Like I said, I'll see y'all soon.